the latest delivery for the boat. I'm going to have a try at converting this into a nice new roof section, and we're going to clad the roof with this stuff. It's made of PVC. It's normally used as a soffit on a house, but it's basically tongue and groove made out of PVC, so it won't rot, it won't discolour, it should stay brilliant white for its whole life. And we're going to have a shot at screwing it onto the roof today. I also have a new toy for taking video while I'm on board. My lovely wife decided that we should maybe try and improve the quality of the videos just a little bit, so we have invested in a nice wee cheap tripod just to hold the phone. We're just using an iPhone at the moment. We're still getting to grips with that, whether to use iPhone or whether to use some other sort of camera. So we'll give this a try and see what difference it makes to the videos. Now, unfortunately, it does mean that you're going to have to start looking at me and my ugly beard from now on. You're going to see a little bit more of me when I'm actually doing the work. We're going to start off with the new panelling that's going to get put up on the roof. As I said earlier, it's PVC soffit. It seems to be quite popular on various types of yacht and powerboat. We're starting off by putting in a joining strip right in the middle. It's going to make it a wee bit easier just if I start panelling from the middle and work my way out to both sides, rather than try and start on one side and work across to the other. So I'm not too sure if this will show up too well, but we're putting that on and we're going to screw it onto the roof, and then we're going to work our way out from there. That seemed to go okay. I think now I'm going to have a go at measuring up and fitting the first couple of panels. To start off with, I'm using 300mm wide. It's basically 3 of the single panels all in one piece. I figured this first bit was going to be reasonably flat. There's very little curve on the roof in the middle, so it would be a little bit quicker, and we'll see how it goes from there. It's also going to give it a bit more stability in the centre, and we'll see how it comes on when I start using single ones. Well, this is the product that we're actually dealing with. It's very light, it's also very easy to cut, which is quite a big advantage. I reckoned it was going to be a lot better than using plywood and vinyl with a bit of spray glue on the back and then some foam. So far, I'm glad that I've chosen this. It seems to be going quite well. Hopefully it goes up quite quickly, and any little bumps and dings you get on it, you can actually polish the surface to get them back out of it. So we'll see how it goes once we start fitting it. So far so good, quite happy with that. One thing that I do notice, it's very bad for static electricity. Every single piece of fluff, dirt, dust, it all seems to stick to it. But once we get it earthed and we then give it a wipe down with a cloth, it should clean up quite nicely. I'm quite happy. We'll get the other side up now. Now get the second piece cut, and we're going to have a go at fitting this side. take that any day over what we had originally. Now down at the end, at the bow, I'm intentionally leaving it slightly longer than I actually need it, and it's going to be trimmed back with a small multi-tool, a reciprocating saw. I'll mark a line once I've got all the panels in, and then I'll cut them back to where I actually need them, and then I'm going to do the actual front section just with vinyl. It's going to be too hard to try and bend the panels round and bring them down the way. I don't think they would take it. So I decided we'll just vinyl it, because we're going to put vinyl around the windows themselves as well. We'll finish it off like that. Time for dinner. Another day on the boat, and we're carrying on with fitting the ceiling panels. I've just cut another one, and we've started working our way back across to the port side. Hopefully this one turns out as well as the other side did. Another section of roof to start going up now. This is the second part, and when I put this bit up, I'm going to have to build a small step into here, and I'll cover it over with an L-shaped piece of trim that should cover the transition. There just wasn't a way that I could bend it round and do it in one piece. You can see how quickly this stuff is to actually go up. I'm very impressed with how easy it is to use. So much so that I'm going to use it on the yacht that we have as well. I'd mentioned in an earlier video that we've also got a westerly centre, so I think it's going to be going into the roof panels of that. I've cut a small panel that's going to sit underneath the edge of the decking, and I'm hoping that it's actually going to make it a little bit easier just to install the vinyl onto the wall on this section up here. It's got a bit of a chamfer at the bottom of it, and I decided I wanted to square it off. I'm also going to fit a pelmet onto this section here, and it's going to make it a little bit easier for me to install the new lighting that we're going to run all the way along this section here. So this section is going to go underneath and just be screwed on, and if I do that, it's going to allow me to fit everything else in without trying to run the screws through the fiberglass and have them poking up through the deck. Now these pieces of wood that I'm fitting at the moment, they're just going to be temporarily fitted to allow me to fit the other sections on. This is probably going to need a little bit of trimming just to finish it off, and then eventually it's going to be covered in vinyl before it's fitted for the final time. That's quite solid, I'm quite happy with that. Once it all starts to piece together, it'll hopefully become clear what it is I'm trying to do with this. That's pretty good. Now, I've got one of the old sections of wood here that we have taken out. The majority of the wood on the boat when we were taking it off, this is what it was like. It was all delaminating, falling apart and pretty wet. This has been lying in the garage for months. I've been saving it just to use as a template, but you can see the state that it was actually in and everything was all blistering off it. Please click like and subscribe, and come back and have a wee look at the next video where hopefully I'm going to be starting to trim out the top sections here with vinyl. I'm going to be doing the lower sections down the bottom of the seating with the carpet that we're going to be installing. I should have managed to have levelled this section out and be ready to trim that off and finish that. And then the final bit that I'm going to be doing with the trimming is going to be down here in the double bed where I'm going to be starting to install the carpet